The horla. It was May 8. One fine morning. Out his window was a long procession of ships, which red flags rippled on the sky, admirably clean and gleaming. The man saluted it, though he doesn't know what made him so happy to see that ship. After 4 days he woke up full of joy. Then he went down to the water. After a short walk he comes back disheartened, as if some misfortune was awaiting him at home. He felt something mysterious. It was like an invisible being that was watching him. Few days later he had an awful trouble sleeping. He doesn't know of what he is afraid of. As he climbed up to his bedroom, he locked his door twice, opened his wardrobes, and looked under his bed. After that he slept for 2 or 3 hours, but a nightmare gripped him. Someone is climbing into his bed, kneeling on his chest, and squeezing his neck with all strength. So he struggled. He wants to cry out and move, but he can't. Then all of a sudden he wakes up, terrified and covered with sweat. He did everything to solve this crisis, which is renewed every night. First, he consulted to his doctor. He found his pulse was rapid, eyes dilated, and nerves vibrating, but without any alarming symptom. Second, he visited Mount St. Michael, which he never saw before. When he was at the summit, he talked with the monk as they watched the sea rise. The monk insists. There are beings that we can see, but still exist, which is like the wind that whistles, kills, and howls. Third, he has an experiment. He placed on the table some wine, milk, water, bread, and strawberries, but when he wakes up, the water was empty, and the milk was lessened, while the wine, bread, strawberries were still there. He repeated the test in another way. He only included the water and milk, then he wrapped the pitcher in muslin, rubbed his lips, beard, and hands with graphite, and went to bed. Soon he was awake. The pitcher didn't have any stains, but still, someone has drunk all the water and milk. Fourth, he went to Paris to restore his mind by shopping, watching theater play, and visiting his cousin. Lastly, he read an ancient book. Then he knew sorts of vampires that feed on their lives while they sleep, drink water and milk without seeming to touch any other food. Then he remembered the fine Brazilian three-master that passed by his window as it went up the sign last May 8. He thought it was so pretty, so cheerful, but the being was on it, and the being saw him and his White House too. It jumped from the ship onto the shore. It is the horla who is making him think those mad thoughts. He is inside of him. He is becoming his soul. It was September 10 when he trapped the horla by his iron shutters door in his room. He ran downstairs, picked up both the lamps in his drawing room, and poured out all the oil everywhere. Then he sets fire to it, and ran out to the back of his garden to hide. He watched his house burning, but he had forgotten his servants. He saw their terrified faces and their waving arms. He began to run towards the village and shouting for help. "Somebody help me!" Then he went back with some people to see if the horla dies. After his thoughts, the horla is not like mankind who die on his time. He concluded that, of course, he is not dead, so I rather kill myself. The end.
Created using Powtoon.